Welcome, welcome. Ooh, Sammy, I love your
This meeting is
placeholder.
being recorded.
Hi, Jody. Hi. It's good to see you face to face, Sammy. Hi, Aisha. Hi, it's so good to see you. Oh, yay. Feel free just to drop in the comments. Oh, look who's joining you, Sammy. Hi. We got the youngest entrepreneur in the room. I think you win. I would love to just know, like, where are you coming from? Where are you in the world right now? Where are you in the world? Just drop that in the comments. Thank you, thank you. You all pretty much know me, so you know where I am. Hi. Hi, Sally Shakti. I'm so glad you're here. Susanna's here. I think it's Susanna. I think I would say Susanna if there was a second N, but you can correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Wonderful. So we're just popping in. Where are you coming from? Welcome, welcome. Hi, Jen. Got Curacao, Tampa, Pennsylvania. I don't know. I honestly think Aisha, you win for best location. I'm just biased. Glastonbury, awesome, awesome. The Burbs. She's in the Philly Burbs. You're not the only one, Jen. We got another Philly person in the house here. Jody's in Philly too. Yeah. Thumbs up to Philly. Well, welcome. I'm super glad you're here. Gonna let some more people in here. I also would love to hear what brought you here, right? Like, why are you here? Why are you here? What about this particular session interested you? What is it that you're looking to gain from the session? That really helps me to kind of tailor this. And some of you I got a little bit more in depth with, which I really appreciate too. So I thank you for that. So go ahead and put that in the comments too while you are here. And while you are writing that, I will tell you why I am here. So I am here because this work is like just from my soul. I feel like from a very young age, it just really always lit me up to hear like what people were up to, what excited them, what they were doing. And I've talked to a lot of women, especially who sort of like find these like roadblocks wherever they are at with their business, with their life. There's something that they're kind of just like, right? Or maybe it's a certain fear, right? It could be something that's coming from childhood or even past lives. And I just look at the potentiality, like what's available, right? Like what's possible. And I want to see you soar. Like that's at the end of the day exactly what it's all about. And so in my own quest to soar, I feel like not only feel, but know that I have landed on a few things that are pretty fucking good. And so I would like to share them with you so that you can reap the benefits too. And that's why we're here. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Super glad to see
Hi.
you too. We're just saying where we are from and why you are here. So I see it. The poverty of belief. Yeah, you see that in yourself. You wish to clear that and learn more. No, thank you for that. I think it was something I did in that Soulful Manifesting Mastery group. I must have said that. So thank you. I got to go back and listen to that. A lot of times things are just channeling through. So I'm like, what did I say? No, I appreciate that. I think that I talk to many people who probably can resonate, something that maybe has happened in their younger life where even they were, having a car repossessed. Like I've heard that story several times. And those moments they really impact how we move forward or how our parents perhaps understood money, right? I've definitely been through those things too. Understand your energy gaps to get to 20K months. All right, Aisha, we got you. Seeing and celebrating. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. And yours as well, Sally Shakti. I just saw you brought on a new book client. Yay. Super happy for you. Celebrations. How to hold the abundance without freaking out. Yes, right. Exactly. And letting it go, right? Isn't that so interesting, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. You've been shifting your energy a lot, Sammy. Process of removing blocks. Yep. Let's go, sister. How to keep my momentum and fulfill my potential through unblocking any energy that's holding me back. Okay. Taking it from Salt Lake, Susanna. Susanna, am I saying that right? Uh, I lived there. I worked for the Oakley School in Oakley, Utah, and I lived on like, I don't know, Third Street or something like that, or it was like a letter or a number up in the avenues. And I had a beautiful view of the mountains. So I've always thought if I didn't live in San Diego, um, I'd probably go back to Salt Lake. It was really beautiful there. So thank you for sharing this with me. I really appreciate it. So basically, I want us to give, I want to give you as much value as I can in this time that we have together. Like my time with you, your time to me is very important and I don't take it lightly. So I really encourage you to come for what you came, get what you came for, right? Like allow yourself to really be present with this. I really invite you to stay to the end. We are going to go up to 90 minutes. If it's shorter than that, that's fine. And then at the end, you are going to have an opportunity just to go deeper with me if you want to get aligned, to get clear action for your business and discover hidden obstacles. And if you stay to the end, for those of you, when you stay to the end, you're going to receive a bonus training from me as well that I'll just drop into the chat. So, sound good? Ready to rock and roll? Yeah? Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to pull up some slides for us to kind of move through this together. I really appreciate you sharing your intentions. I want you to know this is definitely like a co-creation. So as we go, if you have questions, please feel free to like pop them in the chat, raise your hand. So like I said, you get what you came for. All right, so I'm going to share this. And here we are. So these are there's 3 energy shifts to 6 figures in 6 months, because I was adding it up for my coach to get an award and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know I was close to that. I was just so busy in the doing. And this is the manifestation. This is what I've been working towards and the next layer of it. So I'm going to go through a little bit about kind of, you know, for you sitting here, like who you self-identify as and how you see yourself in these areas, right? Like this is really something that is for someone who is an ambitious visionary. You are a visionary. You have a big vision. You want to make an impact in your life, in someone else's life, in the life if you have kids or cats in the world. You take action. You're someone, you know, people can spend a lot. I've definitely bought my $97 courses and did nothing with them. I raised my hand that I had been that person. And yet when I got really clear that like, I'm going to make this happen, then I started to ask different questions. I started to dig in different ways, which we're going to talk about. And then also, you know, you feel like you are growth minded, right? You are open to new ideas or willing to invest your time like you are right now. Sometimes it's our money, also it's our resources in your development. So you can get some faster results. Like I said, I've got this nice bonus for you at the end. And I mean, you pretty much all know me. Just some of us here have joined me, or Jennifer Delinka and I, we went through our conflict resolution training way back in the day, our master's degree. And that to me is everything. I am here to help you bridge the gap, the conflict between where you are and where you want to be through intuition, energy, and strategy, because I really think it takes all 3. I love the hypnotherapy that's a part of my practice because I see the quick results that people get with those deep energetic and mindset shifts. And I am trauma informed, and I feel like that's very important. I work with a lot of women who have had, I'll just say it, like many times sexual trauma in their past. And I just feel like it's an important lens to come from in terms of how we have conversations. I'm not here to you know, force anything or make you do anything. It's really always a co-creation. So it's a little bit about me. A lot of you know kind of my story. You know, I come from this lens because I know what it was like to be out of alignment. I remember when I was just happy to make like $1,000. Like that was my goal, which I'm not, you know, poo-pooing that or anything. It's just that I feel like I've come a long way. I allowed myself to be in situations which were out of alignment. I just didn't maybe believe that I could have it. And so then I started getting moving. I didn't have a coach. I had, I would call it success. I had people paid me money, but it was really nothing near where I really wanted to be. And then this sort of method downloaded, right? Channeling intuition downloaded. And I really feel that this has been like the method that I've seen unlock success for some of my clients, even in a session. And then moving into the state of accountability to keep it going, keep it growing. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And it's helped me to be able to generate consistent cash flow. That's why we're here talking about 20K months. Also, receiving invitations, right? It's part of manifesting. Like, put it on the list, let's make it happen, right? Like doing retreats. Like, I love retreats. So Google, and then other opportunities that sort of came my way that got just offered to me. And then moving into, working with women, mostly women, just around the globe, just pretty much everywhere except for Antarctica so far, supporting them in aligning and increasing their growth in life and in business, because it's intertwined, right? The things that we have in our relationships, sometimes I'm working with someone also with like dating or relationships or wanting to have a baby. It's not just one thing. We are going to talk a lot of business, but clearly, like, we are whole people, right? We have these whole beautiful lives. So what we're going to do is we're going to get crystal clarity on your roadmap to 6 figures with this big vision process. We actually are going to do a method for clearing, this bridge method, bridging the gap between the now and your big vision goal. And then you are going to walk away with some next steps. We're going to co-create some measurable aligned action. So that's kind of fun. I can't wait to see what we come up with. And you can get these slides too, so don't worry about that. These are some challenges I feel like, people kind of can come in with, right, around making changes. It's like this idea of, well, it's not time yet. I have to do this first, or I have to get this client first. Then I can take this next action, right? Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm super busy. I mean, who's not busy here? I would love to see the person who's like, yeah, I got some time on my hands. I've already tried this, already tried that. It's a little bit of like reticence, a little bit of maybe lack of trust because I've tried other things. So I recognize that coming into this, that those can be some maybe challenges like pre-formed that we're coming in with at times. And what I do want you to know is the things that I'm not going to talk about here. I'm not going to talk about making TikToks, which I'm sure could be a strategy, but it's not mine. I'm not going to talk about like making you run Facebook ads and paying 30K to have that success in that ways. And I'm actually not even going to talk about like selling courses. So I just kind of want to be clear about, for me, what I found to really work, and to help share that with you. So what we are going to talk about is really, this to me is everything. Greater connection, making greater connections with your clarity, focusing on clearing your limiting beliefs, and rolling out like a really great strategy where you feel like you've got this sense of groundedness, like you have a solid plan. It's not like, well, I'm going to try this, or I'm going to try that, or I'm going to think about this some more. Like, no, I've got a plan. I'm going to roll this out. So let's do it. The first shift we're going to move into is the sense of clarity. And what I'd love to hear from you, and I might call on you, those who have a lot of success, they take action, so they speak up. And I'd love to hear what it's like when you don't have clarity. Just take yourself off mute, or I will come find you. What is it like when you don't have clarity? Miss Jen Delinka. I'll always call on you.
Yes, I know. I was waiting for it, so thank you. When
I
you
don't
don't,
know.
when you
Oh,
don't have clarity, or when I
oh,
don't.
am I on mute? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Hi, I was on mute. You were
Yeah.
on mute for me. Go ahead.
So when I don't have clarity, it just everything feels like really foggy. Just in terms of, well, what's next? And so I sort of end up wanting to do like all the things, but nothing. So it's like it's kind of a time and energy suck. So a lot
Yeah.
of time gets wasted, and I'm not saying that experimentation isn't good. I mean, we have to experiment to see what's going to work. But if it's this big vacuous lack of clarity about like what to do, what's going to work, then it's a lot of energy that could be used to actually be aligned into taking action that is going to work.
Yeah, and call it like throwing spaghetti. So
Yeah.
if anyone else can relate, I'd love to kind of get a poll going in the chat. So just if you're like, yep, you can throw an emoji in there, like a yep, that relates. So thank you. I appreciate that. How about for you, Jody, when you don't have clarity, what happens for you?
Hi. I feel out of control. Yeah, I feel like not out of control, but that I don't have control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that comes up for me, right? Is that um I feel like clarity equals actionable steps. And when I feel like I don't have control, it's like, oh, I want to do this, or I wish I could do that, or but then none of it's moving along for me.
Yeah. I think it's like a lot of thinking without like the actual actions getting implemented. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. How about we do one more? Yeah, go ahead, Sally. Shakti.
Yeah, so similar for me, I feel stuck when I don't have clarity. So I can't take any actions because I don't know what's the best next action to take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Best next. Exactly. Action. Stuck. Yeah. You have all these options. It's like, I don't know which one. What do I do? Right? Totally get it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anyone else burning for one more? Sammy, Luz, I feel like you got one. Go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I guess I just get really overwhelmed really easily. Like there's so much to do and I'm not very patient. Like I can see the goal, but I don't know what steps to take in order to get me there quickly.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. So, I mean, I am here to help show you the steps. So this is why we're here. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. And look at this. I keep saying this over and over again, right? I don't know the next step. When I do have clarity, I take actionable steps, right? This is exactly for me what helped me get to my 65K quarter. And now I'm kind of having those consistent results. And Joanne and Melanie, welcome. I'm so glad you made it.
Can you see me?
Can I see Melanie? You're all in a row right now, so I don't know. It's okay. I hear you though. So
Okay. All
you're
right.
here.
Okay.
I know you're
Great.
here. Okay. I don't see you, but we'll you can kind of play with that if you want. I'm glad you're here. So for me, in my own personal experience, before I really got this clarity, and I'm not saying this to honest to God, like when I say I stuck with a coach who wasn't leveling up with my desire. That's just an observation. I hope that that's clear, right? There you are, Melanie. I see you. I was putting energy into coaching products that would really be impossible to scale quickly unless I had like this huge ad budget. Or if you have kids, Mr. Beast. If you don't, I don't know. He's like, if you know him on YouTube, if you do anything with him, you'd go viral. So yeah, Jody, I know you know. If you have a boy, you probably know Mr. Beast. But for me, selling like a $30 membership at my level would take me like eons to get to where I really want to be. And I just didn't seek out coaches that would actually help me scale. Maybe energetically, I had some feelings around that, which is probably true, right? And I was interested, but was I really committed? Was I really committed? Like, what would it mean to really commit? And I will tell you, I felt that shift when I went into that space where I am going for 20K months, right? I had hit some 10K, 14K. I'm like, I want 20K consistently and then some. Then I was committed. And that's when I started to ask different questions, right? And asking the different questions helped show me my gaps energetically, mindset wise, and actual strategy. So for me, after I got this level of clarity, I really was willing to invest bigger in myself because I could see the path. I could see the action steps. I trusted the action steps. I felt the fears that were coming up and I actually embraced them. I was like, oh, there you are. This is a moment. this is a moment when I started to hit those months. I was like, I forget who it was who maybe you were kind of saying something about some of the ick. I don't know exactly. I'm not sure who it was, but I resonated with what you were saying around that. And it was like a huge moment of like cheering myself on to move through that. And I got to move through with aligned strategy versus just, praying for like a million views on something, right? So the first thing I want to do, and one of my favorite things, is to help you get clarity. And as I had asked you, hopefully you brought it. If not, maybe you can go grab some or use your notes in Zoom, is to do this with me. We're going to get some energetic clarity together. We're going to get some energetic clarity together. And I am going to roll through this with you for you to do yourself. It's kind of nice to do with a buddy. So if I have someone who would be a volunteer, we're going to do this really quick. Would someone like to volunteer to do this live with me? Like I said, you guys are all in a row. I can't get everyone all at once. So
Well,
who wants to do it?
if no one else will, I'm here.
Who is saying that? Where are you?
Okay.
Say it again.
Sammy.
Sammy. Okay, I got you, Sammy. All right. So, Sammy, and this is like, we're just being completely honest. I am here to talk very honestly and openly about money because we're just going to do that. We're not going to make any reasons or excuses. So, what would you say is your target? One might say in your business. And everyone, I'd love for you to write this, and also please put it in the chat so we can chat about it. Thank you.
My target client?
It could be clients wind up meaning money in your bank account that you utilize towards certain things. So if you had a certain number of clients, like what would that look like money-wise? Like what's your target for your monthly income?
Right now is 10K.
When you say right now, there's something behind that. Tell me more.
Well, okay, so energetically, I feel like right now is 3K, but the old self has to die, and then I'm going to be reaching 10K. Eventually, I want to be like 50K.
Okay, that's where we're talking. Here we go.
There's,
Okay.
that block. It's like, I don't know how to get there.
It's okay. It's okay. We're going to talk about that. So exactly, that's the whole thing. It starts with desire. The desire creates inquisition, and then we get the answers. We get the strategy, right? So when you say 3K, and I remember, yes, very much so. What does that feel like in your body? And everyone, you can put this as well for yourselves. What does that number you might be at? What does it feel like in your body?
It feels like 3K is attainable right now with the level of experience. I'm so new to like the social media world. It's like very like, oh my God, there's too many options. There's a lot of competition. So I think 3K is attainable while I learn.
Okay. Does it feel constricting or expansive?
Oh. It feels like I'm not living to my worth, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna just cross that out.
Okay.
We're just gonna. So, and I understand the overwhelm. What I would love to do for you is to help save you time and money. You don't have to be experienced in social media to be good at this or to have this work for you. In fact, you can quantum leap all the time I took and get there a lot quicker. So you're welcome.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so funny because I quantum leap all the time.
Right.
But with money and business, like.
Well, that's going to be shift too, is going to be those limiting beliefs. That this is the beauty of it, is that we all get to shift these things. I get to shift these things. You get to shift these things. It's okay. We get to do it. That's the freedom of it. The freedom of it is we get to do it,
Yeah.
So just as much as we do it it's always easier to do for others than for ourselves, right?
Of course.
Okay. So when we say, and for everyone here, when you have your reach number, what does this feel like? 10K, 50K, what does that feel like?
Feels like how?
Okay, so in between, the bridge for you is how, which we will explain, we'll get to. And if you envision yourself, you are there. You are Sammy Lou who makes 50K and you're like, I've got this. Not only do I see it, but I have it. I am there. I've manifested it. It's happening. How would that feel for you?
Like I could keep going. Like
Mhm.
it feels like momentum is the word.
Yeah, momentum. I'm going to say like unstoppable.
Cool.
Unstoppable. Yeah, it's momentum. Like, I've got this. I can keep going. Versus what it felt like for me before I started making that 65K quarter. I felt like first of the month, what do I do again? What do I do now? How does this work again? What am I supposed to do again? How do I recreate this? Oh, I did 14K. How do I recreate that? That felt like a fluke. We don't want flukes. We want a business. Okay. So if we look at time now, if we were to take this, and thank you for also putting your targets in here. I'm going to look at those in a moment. If you were to look at your target, right, for how long would you say this has been of interest to you? Making 10K a month, maybe 50K a month.
So I've made 10K months before in a different industry.
Okay, so you know what that feels like.
Yeah. It feels normal to me.
So what I'm trying to say is in your industry of being a hypnotherapist, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been that?
Well, my business is new as of this year, so just a few months, I guess.
Okay. So yeah, and for some people, you can put your time in as well. I know for me, I had started wanting the 10K and then I really wanted the 20K. And I'd say for me, maybe it was a little bit slower roll than that. So would you say 3 months?
Since, I guess since March. So March, April, May, June,
So
July.
5 months.
Okay, yeah, 5, 6 months.
6 months. Okay, great. So let's just say, for the sake of, we're not even talking about a full year, right? Let's say that you had the strategy, right? And you had cleared the limiting beliefs and you're like hooking along. So, 10, I mean, that's easy to do. You're either at already 60K and you can all do this math, right? Do your simple math, just times it by your number of years, maybe you've been thinking about this thing. And then if we're going to do 50K, somebody's probably faster at this than me. 50 times 6. Oh my goodness. So 300K in 6 months. Look at that. Look how delightful that is. How much do we love that? Right?
We don't.
So what does that feel like to look at those numbers?
Like, come on, dude, you're better than that. Like, that's what I'm telling myself. Like,
Hey, yeah, you're kind of stepping up into it. You can see your value. You can see your worth in this, right?
yeah.
Okay, thank you. So now, what are you going to do with all this amazing cash? Like, what are you to do with this? With 3K, I know when I felt like that, I felt restricted. I wanted to get a massage, or I was like, I don't know, I shouldn't do that. So, what are you going to do with this money?
I'm gonna get a car.
What kind of car?
I'm getting a Tesla Model Y, honey. Like, I'm coming for it.
Exactly. Okay, I got the Tesla Y on the board. What else?
Um, Starting to save for a house next year.
Ooh, yeah, maybe even sooner than you think, right? This is an important thing, right? Getting into the housing market, getting that equity going sooner than later. Always just buy the house. I love it. What else?
I'm gonna take my husband out for a nice steak dinner. He loves steak. Even though his cooking is amazing, I still want to do that for him.
Oh, yeah, treat your husband. Yeah, you got one more thing?
I'm gonna get a babysitter.
Yes.
So your girl can get a break.
Buy back your time. Spread the love with the baby.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And then with that time, what else are you going to do?
Just have more time with my husband. Him and I, he's always working these days. I don't have any time for me, really.
Mhm.
I would love to invest back into my business, of course.
Mhm.
There's a lot of different things.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so you can see, you know, right here, you're ready. I hear you sounding very ready to be unstoppable, to be at these months, and all these amazing things that come along with it, right? So that another 6 months don't go by without saving for the house, right? Let's do it. Okay. So, what would you say is like your trigger? Like for me, one of my big things, I was like, I'm going to share something. So, back when I was younger, I picked up smoking. And I don't know, I turned like 32 and I had read about like breast cancer and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, if I pick up another cigarette, I am a smoker. I'm a smoker. I'm literally going to self-identify finally as I am a smoker. I'm going to be an 80-year-old smoker. And so that for me was the trigger to actually stop, because I would start and stop and start and stop and start and stop and finally end cold turkey, done, because I did not want to self-identify any longer as a smoker, right? And what that meant. That was a trigger for me. A trigger for me to actually invest in myself at a higher level so I could make my 20K months and beyond, was so that my husband we don't have to worry about his stressful job. You know, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the tech world. AI is taking over. I don't want to have to think about that. I want to know that I have got us. We're saving for our kids' college. We're good. We live in San Diego. It's expensive here. You know, it's expensive in a lot of places. We choose the expensive place, right? But I don't want to wake up worrying, right? So that was like a huge trigger for me, was to not have him worry. So for you, Sammy, and thank you for doing this with me, what would you say is your trigger?
I guess just looking at these numbers is a trigger of mine. I know everyone does this, but we're being open and vulnerable, but I do compare myself to other people. I don't know, can you give me some more examples of like,
well, can someone else who's also, because we're all doing this together, and I'm curious what else you might think for someone else here, like why would I do anything differently than I'm doing now, that I've been thinking about, bridging the gap to actually having it, taking the aligned action? Why would I do this now? Why would I be here right now? Why would I be sitting here? You know, why am I considering doing something differently so I can make that 50K, so I can clear my limiting belief? What's my trigger? What's my reason? What's my raison d'etre? Right, Fisha? You can understand my French. Or Jody. Let me ask Jen, what's yours? What's your trigger? Oh, you're on mute. This time it's you. It's not me this time.
I have a few of them. I would say that it's kind of a combination of just like being able, like not being able to pay bills, not moving forward in life, and kind of not like living my potential. And also just the whole like life is short thing. Like I don't want to waste more time. You know, I'm 52, almost 53. And so like now is the time. Now is like I just don't want to, and you know, I overcame a potentially terminal illness. And so it's
Yes.
like, why would I waste time not living like the best, my best
Mhm.
life? So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And anyone else, Jody, thank you for putting your trigger. Anyone else, do you want to pop your trigger in here? It's super helpful. I see you, Sally Shakti. I can't believe it was a Domino's pizza thing and you stopped ordering pizza from them. Yeah, I see your goals. Yeah, pop your talking about money is your trigger. Yeah, I can see some others can relate to that. So, what else is a trigger? Sally Shakti, what's a trigger for you?
Yeah, I think for me this time around, health has been one. Well, actually, and age as well. Like you said, turning 44. The day after you had your birthday, Steph.
Yeah, that's right.
I turned 4, and realizing that like I still wasn't able to get dental work done that I need done because it's affecting my health. Like I just want to get a metal bar removed from my teeth because it's like affecting my health. And how many years I have not done that. And it's like, yeah, really getting to the point where my body actually told me, you can't do this anymore. You can't keep putting work first and not having anything to show from it.
Yeah. Exactly, right. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm done. I'm done doing it this way. I am ready. I am, would you say like again, that idea of moving from interested to committed? Yeah. I'm not just interested anymore. I am committed. This is happening. Yeah, thank you. Does that help, Sammy? Is there something else that you would say for you?
Yeah, she talked about her health, and that actually reminded me that I have been wanting to fix my skin on my face for some time. I have always struggled with sensitive skin, premature aging. I have a lot of acne scars. I was on Accutane when I was in my early 20s, and it was painful, and I'm just so over like still like in my early 30s and still dealing with it, and I'm so over it. Like I have all these skin issues and I just want to be able to look in the mirror and be like, okay, cool, like I'm good. Like I don't want to see the imperfections first.
Yeah, and you of course are beautiful exactly as you are. And I understand wanting to invest in the thing you want to invest in. Like you want to invest in that. You want to have the money to invest in that. I want to have the money to send my kids to whatever college they want to go to. College is like insane. Like, so I'm like, I'm committed. I am committed. You are committed, right? You're like, I'm ready. I want to get that house going. Jody, I would be curious. I definitely understand what you're saying, right? In terms of the fears that come up, right? Like triggers, we can use triggers in different ways, right? Like I think we all have a trigger about maybe showing up in social media or imposter syndrome. I don't know enough. I need another degree for this, right? All that stuff that we like to do to ourselves. This trigger is a little different. This is like, I should just say like your big why, like the trigger moment of like, I am ready. I'm done. I'm ready to quit cigarettes. I'm not going to call myself a smoker. The trigger for being committed versus interested. Why? What would you say in that case? Why do something different now?
Are you asking me directly?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Because I'm over it. Like
I understand this.
so Stephanie and I went to college together, if I'm allowed to say that, I guess.
Yeah,
But
of course.
so I grew up in the dance world, and it's always like, oh, you're getting $700 being this wonderful, kind human working in a nonprofit, and I'm like, screw this. Like I have this job where I'm like, ooh, will I get paid? It's a consulting gig, by the way, and I want to launch a lot of this knowledge. I sometimes am afraid to appear as not actually having, even though I very much do.
Yeah.
I don't want to rely on like every month I like, ooh, this month you might get paid this, or next month I'm like, screw it. Like I grew up with a very tumultuous relationship with money within my family, and like my mom's old, like I want to take care of her. Like
Yeah.
I want to not have my kids worry about student loans. Like I want to go get a massage. When you said that, I was like, I say that to myself all the time, like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that because I have to get groceries next week. Like this is such low level thought processes compared to the idea of like, I'm going to have a 20K month. I'm over it. Like, why not try something? Because what I'm not trying isn't that great. So,
Yeah, exactly. I'm over it. Beautiful. So my next question, without thinking too much about it, is for everyone, just to put into the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, like how committed are you? If this is your why, if this is your trigger, life is short, I'm over it, I'm not going to rely on what you pay. I want the dental work. I get to have that. Scale of 1 to 10 or beyond. What is your number? What's your number? Am I okay delaying this? Could I wait another year before I save for a house? Could I wait another year before I do my dental work? Could I wait another year before I get a massage? Right? Yeah, okay. I see 10s, 11s. You don't know how. Okay, how? Yes, this is good. This is good. This is what trips us up. We undercut our ability to move because we don't know how. So we're going to answer that question here. Okay, beautiful. Sally Shakti, what would take you to a 10? What would take you to a 10?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel an 8 in my body, and I think similarly to Sammy, it might be around still not really having the level of self-belief to fully go for it.
Yes. So this is great. This is great. So this is exactly it. You have all nailed it. This is why I am so passionate about this. Self-belief. Look at what holds us back. Self-belief and strategy. How? Me? Why not me? How? I just need to get some information, right? There's some trust along with that, you know? There's a lot of information out there. Me, why not me? Why not you? Why someone else? There's a lot of people out there who are way less soul-led than us, who are making a gajillion more money than we are, and that I may ever. That's fine. The billions that some people have, right? You know, that money isn't judging. Money's not, we're judging ourselves. That guy making a bajillion billion dollars is, well, I don't think he's judging himself. Maybe he is, but I kind of don't think so. So why should I, who am I not to? Who am I not to? Why? Why not me? Right? I don't know. How does that feel to hear that? I feel like sometimes it's Leo season and I get some sassy guides sometimes. Yeah, we've heard it before, if not now, when, totally. But also, you know, there's some passion in it, right? That's a question to, it's just a self question. It doesn't mean, look, you might be like, I'm thinking about it. It's interesting. That's fine. There's no pressure on it. It's exactly what it needs to be for you in this moment. Okay. So now I just want to get into tried. What have I tried? Break through the door. Yes. Sammy, you say you're kind of new to your business, so I'm not sure if I may ask someone who's been trying a little longer. But you can also kind of look at this for yourself, what you have tried. Or maybe if I haven't tried something, why not? So Sally Shakti, is it okay if I ask you? Okay.
Yeah.
What have you tried that has worked for you?
That hasn't?
That has. I want to go with what has worked. Like,
what comes to mind for me is that earlier this year I launched a program, and I think that was the first time I'd ever brought in a 5K month, and it felt easy, and I thought like, yeah, this is it now. I'm on 5K months. And then I literally didn't bring in any more money for the next 3 months. And a lot of that was because I launched the program. I was busy with the program. By the time the program finished, I realized that I didn't have any money coming in the next month, and I was burnt out by doing the program, and I wasn't available to launch another program.
Yeah. And this is for everyone to also, you know, if you will, please do this, put this in the comments so we can see what your thing is also. Okay, that's helpful to know. It did work and it took up time. I have something similar. Like I was going live on Insight Timer, and that was a great place for people to come through to me. It's long story about it, but whatever. But it was also very inconsistent. I couldn't rely on it. You know, the first of the month would roll around and I wouldn't have an exact means. And I know now, and I'm going to share with you what I learned for any of this stuff. But it was like well, what next? How could I ever scale if I couldn't know how I was doing it or have some consistency with it? Or like you said, launching, you get launch flu, it's a lot of work, and then you got to do it again. And what about in the in between? So, okay. And then what about what has just for sure not worked at all?
Is this for me?
Sure. Yeah.
What was the question?
What has not worked?
I think pretty much most things I've tried have worked to an extent, but it's always had the same cycle of burnout and exhaustion for me.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's a cycle I've been in since I was employed, and that's the cycle I'm really kind of ready to break.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Can anyone else relate to that? Kind of getting like doing a bunch and then burning. Yeah, Sammy, I see your hands up. I'm gonna look down here.
Yeah,
Yeah, Patricia's hands up. Aisha, Melanie, I think you're like, yeah, yeah. Okay. And anyone else want to put anything else about what you have tried that you feel has worked or hasn't worked in the comments? I know we're at different stages. So just curious, Facebook is dead for you. Oh, Sammy, it's not dead for you. You just have, if you think it's dead, you have the wrong strategy. So this is something that I find, look, move to TikTok if you want, okay? But my impression is the following. I have made this money through Facebook. So is it truth, myth, or truth? Truth. Facebook is dead. It's not dead. It's just the wrong strategy for you for Facebook, right? I mean, we got some belief stuff, and then we're talk about exactly what you can do instead, all right? One thing that I find, and is it okay if I'm perfectly candid here, Sammy? Is that okay? Can I be candid? Okay. All right, some coaching. So what I find sometimes is that if it's one, like, how long have I tried something? And if it is not working for me, what is the gap within it? Because this is exactly what I needed. I found, for instance, that when people really got to know me through Insight Timer, when I was kind of avoiding Facebook. It was my own thing. It was my own stuff I had to work through. But people would really get to know me. They would just be so ready. Come on a call, be ready to buy. If it was something that was more cold, like I was kind of just posting my stuff on Facebook, like my programs, my offers, then I just was like crickets, 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 right? Crickets. So what shifted for me was understanding at the end of the day, what really matters is connection. What we're doing is connection. And when I realized that filled a lot of the gaps or problems that I was having in a sales call. I was getting a sales call. Someone was coming off of YouTube or Facebook, but they didn't really know me, and then it wouldn't go anywhere. But I also didn't know how to continue the relationship with them either. So I feel like there was a couple things I had to solve for. And when I could do that, I think sometimes we think there's another shiny object. People are like, TikTok's amazing. I make a bajillion dollars on TikTok. I don't doubt them, right? I'm just saying, let's not kick Facebook to the curb before giving it like a shot. Yeah, FOMO. It's like, oh, if it's not working, I got to go somewhere else. It wasn't that my sales calls weren't working. I just had to shift something within my sales process, within my journey, right? It's not that Facebook wasn't working. I just had to shift how I was showing up on Facebook in terms of connection. So when I got that, everything shifted. I didn't have to go to a different platform. So you can if you want. I'm just saying. Okay, so my sort of solution that I would suggest that we are going to talk about down here. Yeah, I'm glad that makes sense. Is in terms of not being in a cycle of burnout, is how to be in a cycle of connection. Because if you're in a cycle of connection, you will not have enough time in the day for all your, I'm just going to use sales words, all your leads. I hate it, but also like we get what we're saying, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say leads. It's okay. Forgive me. If this doesn't feel like it relates completely to you, then just let me know. But hopefully, you know, it relates in some way to your work, your world. Does anyone have questions about this? Any questions, comments? So in terms of doing this, right, we can kind of take a look at, am I willing? What am I willing to do? Am I willing to look at trying something differently? If I'm at an 8, if I'm at a 10 in terms of my why, am I willing to take a look at something differently? Am I willing to take a look at what my gap is? Am I willing to shift my limiting belief? If what I really want, which I would venture to say, all this stuff you all were saying over here, the car, taking care of your mom, not worrying about loans, buying back your time, being able to buy a house, this stuff to me, there's no price tag on this stuff, to be honest. You know, being able to live the life that you want, where you're not worrying about going back to some soul-sucking job, is priceless. There's no price tag on that, right? So am I willing? Yeah, go ahead, Patricia.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And I also wanted to add that we always think about doing. What should I do? What else should I do? And in the quantum world, it is also all about being.
All about which one?
Being. It is about being. We think about
Being.
strategies, doing something else, etc.
Yeah.
While in the quantum world, it is also about being.
Yeah.
Being aligned, taking care of yourself,
Exactly.
enjoying life, taking time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Which to me is what we're going to do when we move into this next piece here, which is getting ourselves some energetic alignment. How's that sound? So bridging the gap, right? So that we are doing those things. Some of those things that we are looking towards, we are bringing into the now. So I'm just going to kind of move ahead here a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the benefits of the clarity. I look at one of my clients, Kristen, and you know, for her, she was even questioning whether she was going to stay in her business or not. She's the CEO of her own business. So she got crystal clear on being all in. She got clear on her actual goals and the steps to get there. And for her, I mean, that's created her being able to go international, get these $1 million investors. I know this might sound like a lot, but I feel like it's helpful to see, you know, what's possible. Her 6-figure contracts. So, and this is coming from a place of a lot of self-distrust, disbelief, uncertainty, right? A lot of the same feelings that I think a lot of us have talked about here too. So, yeah, so now let's just kind of let's do some clearing. What I feel like, or what I've found, and maybe you can add to this, is if you don't have energetic alignment or belief, even if you do have a strategy, let's say that you learn this great TikTok strategy or this great Facebook strategy, if we still feel like unworthy of 20K months, then what I've noticed is we might still be in resistance or fear, or we might still bop around or try something else, or feel this constriction mode, or want to raise our prices, but then we just like go ahead and lower them again, or we procrastinate, or we come up with reasons why we can't do it. You might add to that. Is there anything else on this list? If you don't have the energetic alignment or the belief, even if you have the strategy, what have you found? Like, what has shown up for you? All of those. You're welcome. Put them in the chat or say them out loud. Same. Doing nothing at all. Yeah, exactly. I know the space of thinking about it a lot, but not actually doing a thing towards it. Yeah. What about you, Aisha? Is there anything else you can think of that's not on that list?
I think it's all of them as well.
Say it again.
I said I think it's all of them as well.
All of them as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and there may be some notes you take that you might add on for yourself, just to kind of be aware, because this is the kind of stuff that we're kind of looking to clear. And again, this goal that we have here is to really shorten this distance between where you are and where you want to be. The belief that it is yours, the belief that it's like a no-brainer for you. I want you to think about it just as like if I were to tell you right now to go down to your fridge and let me think of something everybody might have. There's probably something. I'll give you two options: to go grab me some eggs or to go grab me some ketchup. Some of you are like not in America, so I don't know what you have in your
Ice cream.
ice cream. Maybe you'll have ice cream. I wanted to bet you'd be like, sure, I'll go grab you, or go grab me something like yellow from your fridge. I'm sure you could find something, right? It's like a winner. Like I want whatever you want to feel as easy as that. I can go bring that. I can go do that. I can go get that. You know, I don't have to overthink it. It's as easy as that. Coming up with the future plans and all the things to do without knowing how. Yes, we're going back to the how. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Or pivoting because X doesn't work. Exactly. Yes. We want to stop the pivot and just lean into what's going to work for us. So yeah, and these fears, these limiting beliefs, like they're not aligned with our big dream, right? And the goal here is it's not to not have fears, it's to transmute them. And I'm going to give you an example personally, and then we're going to do an exercise here to actually transmute something. I know for me, oh, I got a little frozen there. If you can still hear me, okay. I noticed about a year ago when I got really clear, actually last summer, about really wanting to move into 20K months and claiming it for myself. Oh boy, this limiting belief, this tether around love and money and my parents showed up big time. And I felt it. It was real. I am now 50 years old, and I will tell you, this was as real as they get. And I was like, thank you so much for showing up. I know I feel you right now, but I know I won't feel you forever. And I got really curious about it and I leaned into it. And what was so interesting is as things happen in the quantum world, I started to gather information from just people coming out of the woodwork, my aunt, my cousin, about things in my ancestry that related to this tether with money. And by knowing that, I was able to clear it. And for me, I love working with hypnosis and with the Akashic records. And I found that to be a deep place for many of my clients to clear fears very quickly and be able to move into action. And then now that I'm at the 20K months and I'm ready to move to the next phase, my next thing came up. So I'm like, thank you so much. I get to clear you. So as we go, we just get to clear the next thing. It gets to become like, oh, I've got this. I can almost expect it. It's going to show up because I am ready. It's going to show up because I am ready. So it's not true that, successful people don't have these fears. They just have the resources and the tools to move through them, to transmute them. And it means you're going to up level. So what we're going to do is I'd love for you to, on your paper, just to draw a little line in the sand as to the now. And then what are the fears that stand in your way? And I'd love to just kind of, you can say that out loud, or I'll call on you to share a fear with us that stands in your way. Or, that you feel is standing in your way, that you're like, I'd love to get past this. So Jen Dalinka, what's one for you?
I guess maybe it's a little bit of imposter syndrome. Just kind of like, do I know what the hell I'm doing? Even though I know intellectually that I do.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
like, will my prospective clients see me as somebody who knows what they're doing?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, great. Anyone else relate to that one? Okay, Sammy, I see your hand up. Again, we're like in a little lineup here, so. Okay, what's another one? Susanna, what's another one for you?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of my fears is that the success is not going to last. I'm going to crash and burn.
Mhm. Yeah, why even do it if that was, why would I ever do it if it's going to lead me to crashing and burning, right? Like, why would I ever do that? So you could have all the strategies in the world, and yet what we can do, I'm not saying you personally, but what I found is that we can self-sabotage, procrastinate, because we are going to save ourselves from that happening. Our subconscious is going to keep us safe. And if this is danger, if success equals danger, then there's no way I'm going to allow myself that. There's no way my subconscious will allow me to do that, right? Yeah, thank you. That's a big one. Absolutely. Let's just get one more. How about Melanie? What's one for you?
Mine is like the fear of never reaching my potential.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I don't mean to sound whatever with this, but I'm just going to say, you know, I'm a retired teacher. I taught 30 plus years. You know, I felt like, I mean, I liked my career, but I never loved it. And I
Mm-hmm.
always feel like there's something else out there that I have not achieved or have not done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And when you were talking about the ancestral
Mm-hmm.
part, yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with it. That's why I wanted to say, I think the Akashic records and all that is so powerful because, you know, that time that we did that first,
Mm-hmm.
you know, consultation, I mean, I just saw so much, you know,
Yeah.
and sorry, y'all, my little dog was having problems. But yeah, I think, you know, I'm afraid that I'm going to die and I'm never going to feel successful. And, you know, in a lot of ways, that's ridiculous because I have,
Of
you know,
course.
in so
Yeah.
many ways, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I
Mm.
know it's crazy.
Not at all. And so the first thing I want to stop us to say that any of this is crazy. We're not going to, especially as women, we are not going to let ourselves do that to ourselves, right? We are not crazy. We are not overreacting. We are not oversensitive. We're just telling the truth.
Yeah.
And so this is exactly.
I'm just wondering if I'm being clear about what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You know?
Does anyone else like relate to this? Like I'm gonna leave the earth and I won't have done it. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Very common. That's why this is part of the collective. What you feel, other people feel too. You know? Am I worthy? Right? Do I deserve this? Right? We attach this worth to it. Yeah. The fear of the lack of success, like I'll never get there, right? I can see it, it's so far from me. Thank you for sharing that. It's really important. I appreciate it. So that said, let's take a look also on, just see, this is the subconscious mind speaking. It's not rational. We know other people are doing it. We see it out there. We can almost taste it. It's just that why not me? So what could we look at? Ooh, hold on. I'm going to pause for a second because I see Sammy. Money will be taken for you. Sammy, are you familiar if this is like an ancestral or past life thing?
Hi. I don't know actually.
Yeah. Well, I'd be really curious. When I hear that kind of thing, right? I find many times it's deep, you know. And Joseanne, thanks for coming. I know you had, yeah. We got about another half an hour. Is everyone good? We can do this. We got time. We're good. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So this to me, I just feel like this like nugget when I hear something like that of how deep this can go. And you know, you also do hypnotherapy. You know, we can clear this stuff too, right? So, but I think it's important just to note, right, how deep this can run with something like going away, yeah, or crashing and burning. So, what is the antithesis of this? What is the belief that probably kind of coexists as well that that will get you where you want to be? What is that belief that you toggle back and forth with just as much as those fears come up where you're like, you know what? I'm totally capable. I am really good at this. But what are some things like that? Aisha, what's one for you?
So I had that being visible will give me criticism as my limiting belief.
Mm.
And if I shift it around, actually speaking is my gift. So I think visibility is where I will thrive.
Beautiful. Yeah. And also recognizing like someone's going to criticize us and that's okay. We're not for everyone. I love this. Yeah. Visibility is where I will thrive. I love it. What's another one while I'm writing this? If someone wants to go off mute.
I am good at what I do, and I'm making a positive impact in people's lives.
Heck yeah. I love it. Two. What's another one?
I'll go. For me, it's I tend to become the best around when I am confident with what I do.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I'm a fast learner too. Like I step up really quickly.
Okay, great. Love it. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Those are wonderful. If you got another one, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll kind of start with those. These are for you to have too. So these are the beliefs that get you where you want to go. And then over here, we've got, the fears that stand in the way. So now we got to create this bridge, right? Moving from the fears into the belief. And this is a subconscious thing. This is something that isn't rational. It lies in what's really driving the ship, which is our subconscious. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to just envision that the fear that you have, this whole bucket of fears, is it has like a certain color. It has a certain color to it. It might even look like something. It might even look like something. It might even look like a little gremlin. It might look like a certain person. So just go ahead and put that in the chat. What color is your bucket of fears? Beautiful. There's no wrong or right. It's just the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, awesome. Okay, beautiful. We got red, we got green, we got a couple of greens. Interesting. Yeah, reddish gray. Interesting. Got some more of the reds. So I would love to give this. How strong does this feel to you right now? Maybe even on a scale of like, I don't know, 1 to 100. How strong does this feel? Is it at 100%? Is it at 80%? Go ahead and put that in the comments too. 73, yeah. We're in the mid 70s and the 80s. Yep, 93. Thank you. Yeah. Great. Okay. Okay, that's great. We're at a 40. Yeah, there's no wrong or right. It's just exactly where you are right now. The bucket of weights stabilizing the end of the crane. Oh, okay. So we gotta stabilize that with something else, Sally Shakti. We'll find something. Oh, you know what? You metric system people with your scales to be balanced out. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, so are you ready to do like a really cool bridging, a belief clearing? Yeah, you ready for it? Okay, you are welcome to close your eyes for this. Don't feel like you have to. I enjoy closing my eyes. I can kind of feel it more or visualize it more, but it's not necessary if that doesn't feel available to you right now. I do invite you to take a moment and just notice that that sense of that fear. So just taking a moment present to that fear that you were coming up with and just observing it, observing the color, observing the words of it, observing that percentage, that number. Perhaps it looks like that bucket of weight stabilizing the end of the crane, so we've got to replace it with something. We're just noticing it. You might even notice this belief. You might immediately come to mind the roots of it, and maybe it has some roots. Worthy, fear of success. And there's no wrong or right. Can you identify a parent in the way they spoke about success? perhaps the way you grew up, perhaps even something just comes to mind. There's no wrong or right from your ancestry. It could even be a flash of a past life. I'm just going to notice this and just imagine that this color, whether it's brown or blue or gray, whatever it is, we're just going to envision that it's infused your body, it's infiltrated your system, and we're just going to allow it to sort of gather it. We're going to gather it out from your very being into a ball of energy right in front of you. Could be in a bucket. You could put it in a bucket itself. You could put it in a ball of energy right in front of you. So wherever it's lying, whether it's in your brain, your third eye, in the way you speak, in your throat, the tension in your jaw, in the weight on your shoulders, anything in your heart space, anything from your spinal column, anything from the ribs, the muscles between each rib, anything from the belly, releasing it right into this ball of energy, just letting it release, releasing it from the hips, again from the jaw, releasing it from the legs, releasing it from the action taking of the legs, releasing it from the power center, releasing it from the space of love, releasing it from speaking the truth, releasing it from knowing your truth and trusting, gathering all that color. And now taking it back as if you can envision through space-time the roots of it, maybe the roots that are tethering you back to a certain way of being in ancestry, a way of being from parenting, from childhood, unhooking it from those roots, releasing it like a clown has all those what are those handkerchiefs, like just pull them out, release it right into that ball of yarn, ball of energy in the bucket right in front of you. With your next exhale, you just blow out and release that ball of energy out into the ether as if you transmute it. It wants to be transmuted. It transmutes into a million butterflies. It transmutes into a million stars. It transmutes into a million heart bombs, rose petals. It transmutes. It wants to be freed. It no longer wants to be tethered to you. And in fact, if it was on a weight, you are now replacing it. If it's on that weight, you are replacing it with that love. And in fact, envisioning now your belief that exists in the space around you. It just exists. The belief that I am good at what I do, the belief that I make a positive impact in people's lives, the belief I am a fast learner, the belief that I tend to be best when I am confident with what I do, the belief visibility is where I thrive. That is a beautiful color that exists in the world. It exists in a flower. It exists in the energy around you. Envision that color. Envision that color. Envision that color, that belief that exists in the world around you. Visibility is where I thrive. I make a positive impact in people's lives. Envision that. Envision how you feel when you hear that. Seeing that color now, just in the air that you breathe, the molecules of air are that color. In fact, that color is infused in the world around you, in your neighborhood, in the sparkles of light around the trees and the flowers, and now in your state, across the oceans. In fact, it blankets the world. It exists through the space, time, universe. It simply exists. And now you get to breathe it in. Breathe it through you. Breathe it into every cell. Infuse it into your third eye, this color. Let it seep into the marrow, the bones. Let it seep through the nervous system, infused with belief, light, goodness, positive impact, confidence, fast learner, visible. I am meant to be seen. I am meant to make a positive impact. I believe. Infusing it through every cell, through the belly, through the hips, through the legs, out through the toes. Breathe it in. It moves through you. Nothing is stuck. Sometimes it gets into those little corners where that other colorful energy is still just scraping in. it scrapes it out, it releases it, it transmutes it into this beautiful, gorgeous light. Breathing it in, breathing it through you, breathing it through your fingertips, through the actions you take step by step, moving forward, through your speech, through how you sit, how you stand, how you talk, how you be. Breathe it into being. Place it onto that scale to replace what was there. Evening it out, balancing it with belief, where you want to be, merging into the now, right here in the space of belief is now. Visibility is now. Impact is now. Confidence is now. Fast learner is now. Breathe it in. Breathe it through. And now envision this beautiful light is connecting exactly with those people who need your magic most. They need exactly where you are, exactly what you offer right now in this moment. And you choose to connect, open, without ego, choosing to serve, choosing to be of service, choosing to shed your light and spread it, choosing, willing, able, ready, now. Another deep breath. I invite you back, opening your eyes. Let's take a moment. If you had a temperature gauge, just noticing that energy that you had of fear, the number it was at, notice it where it is now. And if you had a number for that belief light, you can place that in here too. Maybe just do your fear energy, that number first, so we don't confuse them. Look at that. We got a 5. We got a 31. Yeah. Oh, look at those numbers. They got like transposed. I love that. Beautiful. And then just for fun, if you were to picture the next one, the belief light, if it were sort of like temperature gauge or like a full cup up to 100, where would that be? That's good. That's helpful to go to show us from where you were to where you are. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Any movement you need to take? We got one last thing here. So I appreciate you being here, staying to the end for all the goodies. And how did that feel? Invigorating, lighter, a heart. Yeah, I'm so glad. Good. Glad to hear it. Beautiful. So this was like a really quick one. It's not a full hypnosis. It's just an energy shifting technique you can do anytime. A relief. Yeah. That stuff wants to pop up. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much. I get to transmute you. Yay. Let's bring on the light. We can move together. How fun, right? So we let it become the belief. This is exactly, I just wanted to show you what happened with Evan. He wanted to move. I mean, he was already doing great from a lot of people's perspective, from 50K to 100K months. His fear was that he would lose friends. His fear was that he's too young. People wouldn't trust him, right? He couldn't work with higher ticket people because he's too young. Working together, hypnosis, he gained self-trust, he spoke up, and he helped him and his business partners generate 300K sales. And again, another event with 6-figure sales. So let's talk about a quantum leap. I'm like, let's all do that. Okay, so we're gonna move into some co-creation. We're gonna move into some co-creation with your big vision, your business, the universe. It's kind of picturing like if you were in this super awesome, healthy friendship with your business, what would you do? What do I do? What would you do? This super awesome, healthy friendship with my business. Well, what would I do then? What would I do then? If my super awesome, healthy friendship and we wanted to go on a road trip and we didn't know how to get there, we probably would just ask some questions. We'd find a good roadmap. We take some aligned action together. So looking at what's not aligned action, to me, you know, taking a bunch of courses, not implementing, thinking that one failed event is a failed business, not really having a strategy, having a misaligned business plan. I mean that what I'm planning on charging is just not going to get me to where I say I want to be. And then this is where I really want to get into, is the connection piece. Just losing people. There's people in our world we can just be kind of losing sometimes by not really connecting with them. And this is where, you know, my model comes in, where we did some energy alignment, right? We got congruent with what you really want. We did that rapid release practice, a quick one. And now we're going to kind of move into some embodied action. These are some like real action steps that you can take. Oh, I love these pictures. Anyway, there was my discounts era, my discounts and diversions era. It's when I was like, oh, I'll just teach some more yoga for 50 bucks at these really nice places. I know you can't see it right now, but it's like, anyway, it's really nice. And I would have these sales. I would like discount my hypnosis. It was my discounts and diversions era. Oh, I'll just teach some more yoga. Am I going to get to 20K months teaching yoga? I am not. I am going to tell you that is not to like burst anyone's bubble. There are ways, but it's just not the way that I'm going to take. You know, $100 sessions here and there, not going to do it. Not going to do it. So, you know, before alignment, I was downselling and discounting. I was running an inexpensive membership. I expected people to not have the money. I already preempted them. I'm like, you're not going to have the money. Let me just give you a discount. I spent a lot of time as a podcast guest, which for me, honestly, just didn't, you know, it's fine, but I didn't have like a gajillion people running to my door from that. I would post my offers direct on my page with crickets, and I was really just energetically afraid to charge what I knew my work was worth. So, right? Yeah, I am not alone. Jody tells me I am not alone. So now what changed when I got committed, I identified my gaps. What was my how? I rewired my mindset, limiting beliefs like we just did. And I invested in really great coaching to help me with my accountability. And I always move faster when I've got someone in my back pocket. So I would say these are the three things that are keeping us back: our belief, our business model, or we just don't know the right how for us, and our connection flow. Our connection flow, I will just tell you, is probably like the biggest one. So yeah, I kind of just said the same thing. Shiny object, jump around, I'll try this. Oh, it's this. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this thing. So what we're kind of looking at is first filling our income and time gap. Okay, we'll do this quick. We'll do this super quick. Let's just kind of do the math. I would love for you to do this math for yourself. If you don't have a business yet, consider what you are considering offering and the cost of that particular product. So, yeah, I'm just going to have you do this. If someone wants to do this with me, we can. But basically what you're doing is, let's say that we have, we'll just do this, a product that is, let's say it's a monthly membership. Is anyone here looking at doing like a monthly membership? Does that feel relevant? Like a low ticket? I don't see anyone doing that. Okay.
I can do it with you.
Okay, Aisha, thank you. Let's do this. All right. Give me your product. What is it?
I have a one-on-one program for 3 months.
Okay. And what is the cost of that?
4.5K.
Okay. So thank you. It's funny. I was trying to figure people who I figured were like almost already there, or like I could show a bigger gap. That's fine. We'll just do this. So you're doing, so 4.5K. We'll see. Anyway, this will work. But let's say your product, that's great. 4.5K, you're going to put your product amount in there, right? It could be, it's a session for 100K, it's 4.5K. I'm going to move this over here. That's the cost. And then someone help me do the math. So what is your desired monthly revenue, Aisha?
20K.
Okay. So can you just do this math for me real quick? Like how many of these do you need to sell?
I think 4.
Okay.
At least 4.
Literally, like, it's too good. Right? So you need this many to meet your 20K desired monthly revenue. Now, how does that feel to you? Does that feel doable?
I think some months yes and some months no.
Okay. Do you have a sense of what is the gap that you are missing to make it more like a no-brainer? Like people, like you literally have like a wait list. Well, we want you to be in wait list mode. Oh, Melanie, thanks for coming.
And I'm sorry.
It's
I had to
okay.
pick up a football practice.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Okay.
We'll catch you later. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so this is great. You got 4 clients, 20K. Do you have a sense of what would make it more doable?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. So I think if I look at the trust that's needed for people to invest in high ticket offers, it's either I do more volume in terms of my strategy,
Mm-hmm.
or I have to probably like do more to build trust. So more events, etc.
Yes, I think you nailed it. So that's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like the gap for you is it's only a matter of there's a lot of stuff out there. How can I establish trust? And I can establish trust through an experience. So I'm going to talk about that more in just a minute, okay? So I think that's exactly what it is for you, right? And not even like, I know we have like, an hour and a half here together. Like, what if you really showed people some success with like 3 days together, right? 3 days, 1 hour each, right? 5 days together. Imagine the trust that they get to experience, because when someone has 5 days with you, it's like if we spent 5 hours at one time, it's one experience. When you have a day and then you sleep on it, and then the next day, it's like a brand it's like a brand new experience. It's like another iteration, another time, So it's like I already know you from yesterday. I know you even better today. I know you even better tomorrow. Oh, during the experience, I get a result. Let's go. Let's get more of this. I look, we're in an era where I don't know what's AI. I'm like, people come in my inbox, I'm like, are you AI? Before I even have a conversation, like, I'm so sorry, but are you AI? Because I'm not having a conversation with AI. So that's great. So there you go. This is for everyone to kind of take a look at. What's your product? What is the current cost? You might have 2 things, right? This is going to show you if you have a desired monthly revenue of 20K, is this doable? Do I need to have 100 people come into my world to make this happen? If that's the case, I might need to shift my product, or I might need to shift the number of people who are seeing my product. Is that right? I'd say for most of us, I'm trying to look at us not needing to have an enormous audience. We don't need a huge audience necessarily. We just need a few people who really know us and trust us. And what's missing is the connection. Am I willing to connect? Am I willing to create the connection? So it'll be cool to kind of look at that next. Did everyone get this? I'm just curious to put in the comments how many clients you need to meet your desired monthly revenue. Just kind of see that in the comments. Currently 3 or 4. Nice, 5. Look at that. Great. Okay. Is this resonating for you as well if you only need like 3 or 4? Yes, that's right. Because you're on phase 1, Jen. We're moving to phase 2 very quickly. So is this feeling like a relevant thing also? Like what we're solving for is connection. As I say that for Aisha, if you're also saying maybe 4 or 5 clients, I would venture to say the same. Yeah, exactly. You got it. That's it, Sally Shakti. Okay. Okay, if I'm not hearing any different, then I'm going to keep going with this. So yeah, we kind of did that. I'm not going to go through this because we did that. So yeah, what I fixed is I created the connection. I stopped stopped offering the one-off, low-price, one-off sessions, and I created visual value in my sales calls. I'll call them that. They're really just an opportunity for someone to understand what it's like to work with me, but there's so much value in them that it's like a transformative call, and I'll show you an example of one I just did recently. So this is what we're looking at. Many of you already have this. You have maybe, if you have 5 people coming into your world that's fairly high ticket, you're going to have a system of connection, which is through your posts. And it's not posting randomly. There are certain posts that are going to create connection. The thing about it, oh, Susanna, I know we're kind of going over a little bit. Sorry, it's like taking a little bit longer, but thank you for being here. If you can stay, great. If you're enjoying this, like we're like at the finish line. It's like 8 more minutes here. The DMs is where I feel like we're kind of missing. It's not those, oh my God, those crappy DMs that I get 1,000 times a day that want to sell me some sort of like program to get me leads. Like, I don't need your leads. I don't want your leads. So we're not doing that. But there is a strategy of super chill connection, and then offering them an opportunity to be in your world, a free event. It doesn't mean we have to sell in the DMs. It actually doesn't mean we have to sell on our page at all. But there are certain posts that we could talk about in the future. There's a certain strategy to DMs that can guide people into your world in just a super chill connecting way. Like that's exactly, I want to connect with people, right? It doesn't mean that just because they see me one time, they're going to be like, oh my God, let me buy your thing. There's a gajillion things out there. That doesn't mean they won't buy yours. In fact, they will, because you have what they need. They will buy yours. We can trust that. They buy stuff all the time. We're buying stuff all the time. What we want is some real value when they actually get on a call with you. We forget we're actually creating relationships. Our posts are creating relationships with our businesses, with our clients, with anyone, right? That's exactly what it is. I love people. I know pretty much all of you who are here. Like we have a relationship. That's why we're sitting here together. It's no accident. None of these pictures are showing up.
Can I say something, Stephanie?
Yeah, go right ahead. Please do.
Yeah, when you post like friendly contents, people don't necessarily show up, but they get to know you.
Yeah, it's creating trust.
Yes, and even if they don't like or do anything, you are taming them.
Yeah, and I think to me, what gets missed also is that when people like, that is an opportunity to create a connection. When people comment, that's an opportunity to go in and actually say, thanks so much for commenting on my post. It meant a lot to me. How's your day going? I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. Just like connect, right? They're in your world. And in fact, when you do that, they're going to even see with the algorithm more of what you're posting. Go in the DMs and just thanks for the like on my post. It really means a lot. Maybe see where they live. Like how's the heat in Pennsylvania treating you? I'm sweating over here in SoCal. I'm going to head to the beach later. Just whatever. Just literally be a human being who's not AI.
Yeah.
And then this is some literally in an hour with, this person, Sally Shakti. When I met with someone recently, we were like, boom, what did we do? We helped her understand her sequencing so she can have 4 clients a month. Now, we also took a look at the big picture, her energetics as to why she's even doing this in the first place, right? What would she do if she couldn't fail? What's the legacy that she wished to have? And in doing this, we nailed her method under 60 minutes. We nailed her retreat. We nailed her method. We nailed it such that she no longer needs to be doing one-off sessions. She has a program. She has something worthy of a 5K and beyond program. It's a group program. It can cost less for people who can afford less, right? She nailed it. It's all right there. 60 seconds, so much value, right? So that is what I am sort of inviting you to also create. One is connection. Yeah, Yeah, this was all in an hour. You're right. And for her in particular, what I do is I kind of start with what we did earlier, those triggers, the targets, all of that. And then from there, I look at, well, where's the gap? Where's our gap? Is the gap in, are you forgetting your big vision? Sometimes we get so caught up in oh, I got to just sell this not $100 thing. We forget our big vision. We forget the legacy. We forget what we do if we wouldn't fail. This big energy brings us into the truth, which is now the method. So she got clarity, she got clearing, and she got an actual action. She got this method that she can now work with. So that to me it's not just like sitting there with someone trying to sell them your program. It's like, well, let's do something and then see if this is a fit right now. And where are you at? Are you committed to make this happen? Is this a now for you? Okay, cool. Let's go. Right? If she is not ready, yeah. Okay, attracting people who don't have money. Yeah, well, that's also energetically something that can be shifted, right? In the way we are also showing up. It's fine. They don't have money. Guess what? They don't have money until they do. They don't have money until they do. We don't know how much money they have. We don't know. People are spending $400 a month on their car payments. People are spending $300 getting their hair done. People are spending money on DoorDash and on subscriptions, right? It's just what we are choosing to put our money towards. If they are not ready, guess what? Connect. Keep them in your connections, the relationship. What do? Bring them to your free thing. Send them your free thing. Serve them. Bring them back, right? Have a list of people you've spoken with. Hey, I'm going to offer this free thing. You want to come? Cool. Because maybe they just don't trust you enough yet. Maybe they just don't trust themselves enough yet. Maybe they need to throw spaghetti at something else before they're done with that. And they're like, all right, I'm ready for this. See what, maybe they need to watch you a little bit more. Is she for real? Is she gonna post about her cat some more? Or is she which I do too. So I love posting about my cat. But what's going on here? What are we doing here? Is she gonna stick around? Is she just flash in the pan? She's gonna be gone? Let's see. Bring them back. Connect. We think that we had a sales call and we failed it because they said no. No. Bring them back. Connect. Bring them to some other cool thing you're doing. Bring them to your free group. Offer them another, hey, I'm doing this free thing. You want the replay? Cool. Keep them in the pipeline. Just keep them in your thing. This is where 90% of who we could be serving gets lost. So basically, this is it. Energetic alignment, a really kick-ass strategy, and having some accountability, having a plan, having a bit of a map. So we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. We know what we're doing this month. We know who we have who's coming into our world. I mean, I put out a post for some free sessions, and I think I had 7 people say yes. One person was like, thank you very much. Here's my card. I'm ready. Let's go. Probably because we've been in passing here and there. It was just, there was so much value in her sales call. She was like, let's go, right? Didn't have to think twice about it. Look who's here. So our beautiful Jen here, I have you here because, I just keep seeing her grow and grow just in terms of shifting from her soul sucky corporate job into, shifting your money story, right, that we did through hypnosis, and then moving into signing your clients and corporate clients. Like, you just got to work. Phase 1. So, okay, this is what we've done so far. We've done some clarity on what you really want from your soul, what you're committed to. We did a shifting of limiting belief. You felt it. You saw the numbers shift. We did some energetic alignment with business strategy towards some goals. So you have some specifics there. Do you have any questions, or is there something that you are taking away from this business strategy piece that you are going to implement, that you are going to try, that you would like some more information on? for me, I was like, how do I sound like a real person in the DMs? I just like to kick back. I'm a Cancer sign. I was like, what do I say to people? I needed to understand what to actually post that was going to be effective. So I could have 100 likes coming in. So I could have 60 comments, people wanting my thing. What about for you? Is this all done through Facebook? Yes, currently, Joseanne, so for me, I was mostly on Insight Timer because I was like, oh, Facebook. And the thing with Insight Timer is you can't be direct about your ask. You cannot be direct about selling anything. And so I really felt like it was just harnessing me, you know? And so I just was like, all right, Facebook, let's give it a go. What posts helped with connection? Okay, so are we cool if I just share my Facebook page real quick? Okay, so, sorry, it's just Mercury in the lemonade, just doing random stuff. All right, so pull this up. In fact, I just went through a whole training with my VIP coaching clients on content to connection. So that is something that is part of my program. Okay, so this is me. You can see, oh my God, I used to go to these BNI sessions, these BNI networking things, and this one guy, he had a sign company, and he was always like, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. And so if you don't have something already that is like, tells people who you are, you're gonna go post in other groups and they're gonna come to your page and be like, well, I don't know, she's got some great cats, but what does she do? So for me, celebration post, right? You're getting a little extra here. So celebration post. 118 people liked this. I posted this in a Facebook group. I mentioned my energetic abundance method. I want us to be clear. I mentioned nothing about my client success. I mentioned no call to action. I can easily post it in another group of like-minded people. And now I have 118 people to follow up with, to thank them. 61 comments that might be the same or different to follow up with, right? Time to get my passwords in order and get my VA. This, not so much. People probably saw it, fine with me. This was very lovely. Thank her for that. This one, I'm pretty happy with this. You know, that's pretty good. Call to action post, right? So I do some kind of post that, sorry if you, I hate looking at somebody scrolling, my husband, I hate it. So sorry, if you have to close your eyes while I scroll. I've got over here a celebration post. It's probably gonna do an uptick in my visibility, just to be fully transparent here. And then now what? Boom, drop it in with a call to action post. Who wants my free thing? Who wants my free call? Who wants my workshop thing? Oh, I do. Great. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Maybe give yourself more time than I did. I have to get better at that. It's I'd say like a heroine post. The heroine of the story has a trajectory. There's some crazy thing that happens and then it gets better. It's true. All true things. Bad stuff, better stuff, what I learned. Right? Got some comments, people to follow up with, you know, thank people. Other stuff, you know, celebrating my client's transformation. There's another one here. I don't know. I don't want to make you dizzy looking at this, but a story about my client so people can understand what the heck I do. This was really helpful. People in my inbox. Oh, I didn't know you did that. Right? Nothing salesy, just a full deep. I went in deep about what we did, you know, maybe not as much. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't mind if there's less people commenting. People are going to comment who are interested, right? It could be, all it takes is one person. You're talking about 4 people to have the month you want. It doesn't take a lot of people. It doesn't take posting every day. You could post 3 times in a week and you could have more than enough. what you didn't see a single post about my offer. You didn't see a single post about a sale, right? So, I mean, there's a little bit of like family stuff in there and my stories in here and there. I post, to be honest, right now, mostly on my own personal page and sometimes in groups, like 3 different groups, but it'll mostly be like a celebration post that I'm posting in another group. And then just start to have conversations. So yes to groups, yes to like-minded groups for sure, where you can go and serve people. And then, yeah, on my page. But I mean, for me, honestly, it's just like, I am getting more, like I said, it shouldn't be my excuse, but I'm a very water go with the flow person. So I am getting more and more organized. I have my charts. I'm getting my passwords to my VA so I can move quicker, faster, right? So that's just the honest truth. But that said, I'm still really happy with 65K in a quarter, despite my watery Cancer sign. So, okay, so hold on. Well, let me pull this back up. Last thing. I appreciate you all. I know we're in, right? We're like, I appreciate you taking the time to be here. You've been getting a ton of friend requests lately. How do you weed them out? Get specific. Now, I'm not judging. I'm not going to judge. If it's some random guy with one other friend, I am not friending that person, right? Who are in general, the type of people who like working with me? For me, it's you. This is what we look like. It's like we're kind of maybe in some soul aligned business. We're connected in some other group, right? We're kind of like walking in similar circles. That's how I make those decisions. Do we have some similar friends? Sure. I wouldn't worry too much about it. In fact, make the friend requests. If you keep talking to the same 100 people, then you're talking to the same 100 people. Make connections. Friend 10 people every day. Thank them for their friendship, right? Thank the people who are commenting on your stuff. Ask them how their day is going. Be a real person. This is what we're missing. Everyone wants to just blast in there. It's like, well, this was probably never me, but this will be my analogy. You're sitting at the bar and the guy comes in, he's like, whatever, give me your number. I don't know you, like, right? Like, I don't know, but it's not what we're doing here. We are creating connection. We're creating, all you need, 4 people. How hard could that be? Okay, so that said, let me just go back to this real quick, as you've stayed to the end. Long story short, this is my invitation to you. If you would like to sit down with me and get some clarity to bring your ideas to actual action, your model being aligned with your goals, discover some obstacles to scale for your influence and impact, walk away with a roadmap, kind of like I showed you, then you are very welcome to come and grab a call with me. Let me see if I can copy this and put it in the chat. And oops. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Oh, I see. Our chat is hidden behind here. There it is. Okay. Pull it back up. Yeah, so that is an invitation to you. If you'd like to grab that. I also want to mention that if you go to my calendar, if you don't see a time that works for you, just let me know. I'll see what I can open up. I do have this free gift for you, this rewriting your money story. There's a little link right here that I can put in the chat too. So I know we talked a lot about money stories, so that's something that you can do. I keep losing the chat. Can someone just like write something in the chat? Oh, there it is. So I can pop back up. Okay. Okay, Patricia, I'll see you. And yeah, I mean, basically, my sense is if you're having trouble with your goals, there's something going on. Maybe you don't have complete clarity. Maybe your strategy isn't fully aligned. There's some gap in the how. It could be combined with a little bit of the belief and mindset stuff. there's a system that maybe, we're missing something like we just talked about in terms of connection. And maybe it's just having that accountability, right? Like I move way faster when I've got someone in my court. So to kind of look back at what we just did, we did the energy alignment, we did that rapid release practice. We took some action in terms of looking at your model and how it can get you where you need to be. We took some action looking at a bit of strategy in terms of connection. And yeah, I'm always here for that accountability to help you scale. So I would just say, the main thing is that energy is staying true to your soul's desires, like really lean into focusing on making those connections and lean into the strategy that's going to work with your energetics and alignments. And just be aware of those like next shiny objects. How much have I leaned into this? Is something missing in this? Like for me, I will say that I had some great coaching around to get me really running on running like challenges and in events. But I just felt like I had something missing in the actual sales call. And that's where I got help on, I'm just calling it that, right? But on the actual sales call, I got help on that. And then I felt like, wow, that really filled that. It's sort of like different people fill different functions for me. So I'm not, married to just one. Am I polygamous when it comes to coaching? I'm not just because I'm in one coaching program, I'm open. I want to learn. I'm open. Doesn't mean I'm jumping away from something. I'm leaning more into how it can work for me. So yeah, I just wanted to show, some happy people who have worked with me. And we have some time here. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer any other questions. And if not, I would love to hear just like one thing that you are taking away that you're going to do. What is one thing you're going to do when you walk away from this call? You're so welcome, Jen. Connection. Yes, you got the message. Exactly. Connection. Yes, beautiful. You can even just take a look at like 3 people you want to connect with and just do that. Make it fun. Let it be joyful, right? There's no pressure on it. You are in joy. You're very welcome, Jody. Yes, exactly. Follow up on your likes and comments. Yeah, you got it, Sally Chalky. You're so welcome, Jody. My pleasure. Yep. Enjoy to see you too. All right. Well, thanks for coming. I'll see you around the Facebooks. And I look forward to, those of you who are going to meet me one-on-one. Take yourself on as a client, right? Exactly. Sometimes it's the best thing we can do. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, and I will see you all very soon. Bye. You're very welcome. Oh, I'm so glad, Josanne. That's the plan. Bye.